Well, hello there, Cinema Drunks. This is Ben, editor of Cinema Gulp. And in honor of the most anticipated film of the summer season, I give you a reload of our twisted review, Overboard. The 1980s were chock full of bizarre, over-the-top comedies with premises that borderlined absurdity. Overboard, however, takes the fucking cake.
Ah, yummy!
It's strange how supposed level-headed individuals such as Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell could read the script and not see the general undertones. In fact, these general undertones aren't even undertones. They're out in the open. Overboard is essentially a film about kidnap, rape, and brainwash. Dean Prophet acts as judge, jury, and executioner, all for the sake of a few bucks. It's a strange and disturbing chain of events that should have ruined the lives of all involved. So Joanna Staten represents fear, vanity, and abuse of power in the American public. She's awful to people.
Ugh. What is this gelatinous muck?
And feels entitlement like we feel gas after a burrito. She treats Dean like a caveman who comes into her home to pillage. Well, turns out she's really not that far off. After stiffing Dean for a job he did for her, she somehow proceeds to throw him off her boat, therefore killing any reconciliation the two might have and if they ever cross paths again. So it would seem only natural for Dean to try and retaliate in some way. I don't know, call the authorities perhaps? Seems level-headed. After all, she ripped him off and attempted to fucking murder him. The Pacific Northwest waters are nothing you want to get thrown into, especially during the wrong time of year. However, Dean, with the ill-guided advice from his inner workings of his country bumpkin mind, decided it much more effective to hit her where it hurts, her soul. Joanna's conveniently also thrown from her harboring yacht in the middle of the night on the eve of her attempted murder of Dean and completely loses her memory. Those 80s films love to have their main characters get amnesia for one reason or another. Much to Dean's delight, she washes up on shore in his neck of the woods and is taken to a local hospital. Now, I'm not entirely sure how things work in the 80s, let alone alongside the Oregon coastline, but I would like to think that an investigation of some sort would take place to find the identity of a woman found with almost no clothes and full-blown amnesia. No such luck in this town. Dean happens to be the first Joe Schmo to come across walking through the doors claiming she's his wife. Forget the fact that there's no ID ever asked for, or that Dean was already fairly known in this small town as being a single father raising 4 boys without a wife. Who gives a shit? So Dean takes her home and proceeds to destroy Joanna's mind and soul by poisoning her brain with thoughts that never existed to her before and stories of things she never took part in, all in an attempt to live out his fantasy life that his late wife, Annie, had never died. Through this effort, Joanna is brainwashed into thinking of a life she had never existed in and that she's got children of her own. Not a cool thing to do to a chick in her late 30s. As the film progresses, we're taken through the mind of a very disturbed individual. The lengths for which Dean will go through in order to feel something for Joanna are mind-blowing, and his efforts work. Joanna is eventually convinced that she is in fact Annie, Dean's dead wife. We're never really told how Annie died, but it all sort of hints that Dean may have murdered her in a fit of rage during a heated argument. It's just the kind of thing that would put him in the state of mind to try and get her back. If she was back, then it's as if she were never gone. If she were never gone, it's as if he had never killed her. Denial and projection are a powerful thing. As Joanna's true self gets buried deeper and deeper into the abyss of amnesia, Dean ups his ante by getting her into bed and raping her. Sure, in his mind, he's sleeping with his dead wife Annie, but there's really no coming back from that if Joanna were to ever regain her memories. And is it any less strange that he thinks he's sleeping with his dead wife? A strange man in a strange house seduces you through mind games, manipulation, lies, deceit, and revenge. Are we laughing yet? The climax of this film shows 2 alternate outcomes. On one hand, Joanna's mind is recovered when she can remember who she is and that she's not Annie. On the other hand, Dean has already won because Joanna has become Annie so much that she's left Joanna behind. Her character bears no resemblance to who she used to be. Perhaps that's a good thing because she was a horrible, insufferable beauty queen with no redeemable qualities. But that doesn't mean it's okay to pursue her in the way that Dean did. To strip her of her identity, personality, thoughts, and previous life. No fucking way. Joanna just couldn't find herself anymore. Dean erased her past, put in a new one, and clouded her judgment. Even at the very end, Dean says,
"Annie, and you always will be." Truly
haunting words. The ending, though ambiguous, tells the viewer through the right mind control and the right set of circumstances, it's easy to make yourself a wife. Just kidnap a woman with no memory, feed her a fake history, use your kids to warm her heart, have lots and lots of sex with her. So is Dean completely calculated in his efforts or ridiculously bonkers in every fucking way? I leave it up to you. If Dean really did kill Annie number 1, was she in fact a copy of yet another wife before her? We will never know. No one ever caught on to Dean's antics, nor did Joanna's real family ever do much to get her back. Her, I guess, husband Grant saved her, but was soon double-crossed by Annie, who kept itching to come back out of Joanna once he got her back. The film becomes a tale of two personalities at this point. Once Annie was unleashed by Joanna's own tendencies, she was permanent. So until Dean decides it's time for a new one, what we believe to be Annie number 2, we'll continue to buy into her false past and believe these 4 deranged, fucked up boys are her own. These kids are freaky. There's even a possibility that the boys had a hand in killing Annie number 1. But listen to me go on and on. You tell me if I am in fact going way overboard? Well, we hope you enjoyed our twisted review here on Cinema Gulp. If you liked it, please click like and or subscribe. You can leave us some comments down in the comments section below. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Cinema Gulp. Until next time, this has been We Drink Your Cinema.
I drink it up!